When you're a teenager and you get in trouble, your parents usually punish you by taking away something. Most likely, that thing was a video game, your phone, car keys, or Ice Age 2 on the Blu-ray. But for a kid named Braden Peters, or better known as Clavicular, his mom took away his hammer because he was bone smashing, which is exactly what it sounds like. He was hitting himself in the face with the hammer to hopefully change his bone structure. Now, the little face smasher is 21 and he has outgrown his weird habits. Just kidding, he still does it. He still hits himself in the face with the hammer. Not only that, but he inspires younger, insecure kids to do the same. In fact, he is somewhat of a poster boy for the LooksAmazing community. To understand first why someone would hit themselves in the face with a hammer repeatedly, we have to take a couple steps back. We have to talk about LooksAmazing as a whole. This thing started in the early 2010s in the corner of the internet forums like Pure Hate and Slut Hate. Their ideas were simple. How you look determines literally everything in your life. Who you date, how much money you make, and how well you understand the deep and philosophical meanings communicated through the intricate storytelling of Ice Age 2. And of course, how happy you are. These guys created something known as SMV, or Sexual Market Value. It's basically the value that determines whether or not you get into heaven or you get reincarnated. Or if it's high enough, you might even take God's place. LooksAmazing can be broken down into tiers. First, there's soft maxing, which is just basic hygiene and grooming, going for a jog, working out, skin care, maybe a new haircut, nothing too serious. Then there's hard maxing, which is more extreme. Steroids, plastic surgery, and of course, bone smashing. The goal is to get massive squared off jaws and hunter eyes, which are just eyes angled slightly downward towards your nose. If that's not enough, they have their own lingo, like a biologist naming a new species. Things like IPDs, or the gap between your eyes, canthal tilt, which is basically just a level like the one in your dad's toolbox. These LooksAmazers will look at an image of a guy and say, bashing his eye sockets with a hammer can take him to a sub 5 to HTN on the PSL scale. What does that even mean? Why are we creating medical level lingo to say breaking this guy's bones can take him from ugly to hot? But I guess saying it like that makes it sound pretty crazy. So how do these guys not see the craziness? They reference a 19th century surgeon named Julius Wolff. Wolff says that healthy bones will adapt and strengthen in response to mechanical loading. That's why athletes generally develop stronger bones. This is probably true, but these kids are twisting the words like they are twisting their own faces. They think if they treat their cheekbones, they will grow into a more desirable shape. But here's the craziest and most unbelievable fact you will ever hear. Smashing your face with a hammer is very different from lifting weights. I know. That's pretty crazy to hear. Weightlifting applies controlled, directional force. Bone smashing is uncontrolled, blunt force. One doctor uses the analogy. It's like dropping a coffee mug onto the ground, hoping it will turn into a teacup. But what actually happens? Well, it could lead to severe injuries, micro tears in your facial muscles, damage, blood vessels, and ruined facial fat pads. The bone swelling is not controlled, and it does not matter where you hit yourself. It will grow back irregularly. One of the worst part about this trend is that it is targeted at young, insecure middle schoolers. Damaging your bones during puberty is incredibly stupid. You are messing with growth plates, which remodel rapidly during adolescence, and smashing them can stunt their growth. But on social media, we don't hear about these failures. We see the 1 in a million successes, that are most likely just from natural puberty. Another similar trend is mewing, or pushing your tongue up against the roof of your mouth to supposedly strengthen your jaw. Unfortunately, the doctors say the evidence for mewing is as thin as the myelin sheaths in these LooksMaxers. If you actually want real structural changes in your life, you can't use a hammer on your face. You should use a saw. There are reports of people asking doctors to literally saw off parts of their chin because other people claim they look like the Crimson Chin. All jokes aside, this trend is incredibly dangerous. And if you are truly insecure about how you look, stick to soft maxing. But maybe don't call it that. Maybe just call it basic hygiene. I think the most attractive people are those who are healthy, both mentally and physically. Anyway, this was a shorter video. Thank you for watching.